Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here as always. Also, it's Halloween today while I'm filming this, so happy Halloween to everybody. Don't eat too much candy, it's not good for you. What we have here is actually something very cool. This I picked up from our local retro video game store that recently relocated to a much larger location, and my wife and I went to their grand opening. I want to say about a week or two ago. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. And it was really cool. We didn't get anything then, but after that, they did announce that they had some Lego sets. And so I went by and I picked up this. I did know that they already had these sets because one of their employees' parents had a stash of sealed Lego sets from way back, and I believe they traded it into the store over a year ago. But the store was having issues with the zoning on their new location, so it's been pushed back this whole time. But they finally got into a new place, and they finally got the sets out. And so I ran in and picked these up the day after they said, "Hey, we've got them on the shelves." They had a few things. They had this one, obviously. They had a sealed X-Wing, and that one I'm also interested in possibly picking up soon. They had two copies of the original UCS AT-ST, but they were in really bad shape and honestly overpriced. They had them for like 500 a piece, but they're like 300 normally, and especially not in the shape they were in. They also had, I can't really remember off the top of my head. Oh, they had the sealed Republic. I don't remember the name of the set, but it's the consular ship, the red one at the very beginning of episode 1 that blows up. They had that sealed. It wasn't in great condition, but it was also pretty expensive. And also the original Star Destroyer set that was also sealed, but in rough shape and a little too much. The X-Wing and this one are the only ones that were sort of market value, honestly. But yeah, I have this. It's sealed. It was from 2007. This is set 7659 Imperial Landing Craft. Came out in 2007. Celebrate 30 years of Star Wars, specifically Episode 4. 30 years after it came out. That's super neat. It's in surprisingly good shape, honestly, for being nearly 20 years old. Like, and yes, I am leaving this sealed. That's why I'm doing a video on the set while it's in the box. Haven't built it because 20 years, I can't break the seal on this thing. And it's gonna go into my collection as a sealed, one of the few things in my collection that is still sealed, that I'm gonna keep sealed. Because, I mean, it's not value. I'll go over the price of this in a second. But it's not about the monetary value. It's the fact that it's almost 20 years old and it still has the seals on it. I cannot bring myself to open this box. I want to preserve it in the condition that it's in. Just because I feel like after this amount of time, it deserves to be, just maintained how it is. It would be really cool to open it up and build it, but I could always just get the parts to do it. Man, this panel right here, this part of this is so nostalgic. I'm pretty sure I know I have those three. I might have that, and I never picked that up. It looked kind of dorky, but I have most of those. Yeah, this takes me back so far. Man, 20 years. I was almost 15. Damn. Man. Actually, no, 2007, I was 15. I was 16, 2007. Yeah, man. This is my childhood right here. Seeing these things on the shelf. So I bought this for 150 bucks. I traded in a couple video games, got like $5 credit. think we had like total of $8 off. So that covered tax. So I got this for 150 bucks, which is what they had it listed for. Which honestly is pretty good. This was the best shaped box out of all of the ones they had. I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, so you can see 471 pieces, 5 minifigures. This originally retailed back in 2007 for $49.99, which was a hell of a deal. 50 bucks, 5 minifigures, almost 500 pieces. That is actually really nice, value. The price per part, the triple P. As far as the minifigures go, all the stormtroopers here are unique to this set. They only ever came in this set, and that's simply because of their helmet. I'll show you here. These have the solid black mouth. You can see on the helmet there. So all of the minifigures here have just solid black heads, so there's nothing unique about that. And they have the regular stormtrooper bodies and the pilot body. But the helmet, the mouth is solid black. Now the other variant of that helmet is it was kind of a dark gray with black slots to imitate sort of the grill on the mouthpiece, but these ones are solid black. I didn't know that was a variation until right before filming this, when I looked up these minifigure prices. So the Stormtroopers and the Sand Troopers, they have the same helmet and the same body. So basically the only thing that's different is that the Sand Troopers have the orange pauldron and the longer rifles instead of sort of the hand blasters. The Stormtrooper with the solid mouth helmet is, if you want it in good shape, in the US, they're between $4 and $7. There's a whole bunch of them. I think there's a couple hundred listed on Bricklink. The Sand Trooper with the solid mouth helmet, it doesn't have a backpack, but it does have the solid orange pauldron. That half of those are around $20. There's not very many of them listed in the US. Half of them are around $20, and then they quickly go well past 20. I think there's 30, 40, 60, all the way up to maybe 100 on one of them, which don't be dumb. Don't buy those. If you want a decent shape one, they're about $20 a piece, which is pretty neat because it's literally just a piece of cloth making the difference between them. And then the TIE Pilot, this is almost a unique minifigure. It only came in this set in 2007, and then the TIE Interceptor set from 2006. And it is also between $4 and $7 for a decent condition one. So, like, the minifigures are all right value. It's mostly because they're old, and there's not very many of them in good shape. But I do want to point out, this is like the golden age of the Stormtrooper helmet design. This is like the best mold they've ever had for the Stormtrooper. And I know I say it every time I have a video with a Stormtrooper in it. I hate the new ones. They look like Family Guy. These ones are so good. I love these helmets so much. Yeah. So if you want to get the set on Bricklink open and complete, I mean, you can get it for even cheaper than these prices if you don't want it complete. But if you want a complete one, it's anywhere between $75 and $100 if you don't want the box. Some of those do come with instructions, but most of them don't. If you want everything, including the box, it's $125 to $140. I think there's only a couple of those. And then there's several sealed ones that are listed in the US between $213 and $250. I think I got a hell of a deal here, getting this $150. That's a great freaking deal. Especially, I mean, it does have a little bit of damage. I'll show you that here. The box is not amazing shape, but compared to the other ones they had, this is very, very good. There's a little bit of, just a little scuffing on the edges there. That bottom corner's fine. This one's a little smushed, not too bad. It's a little dirty and scuffed. I think I could probably wipe that off. There's a little roughage there, a little whitening there. I mean, the front is in really good shape overall. The sides aren't bad. There's a little chip there. Little dirtiness there and a scuff. The back has scuff there. And like, this is what I was looking, and that's got just a little bit of a bit there, but you know, the coloring is nice. There's not too many like gouges or anything. It could have been a lot dirtier. I think that might be a little just laying down on a surface sort of dirtiness. Might be able to come off, but I won't fuss with it. I think that might just be like the red wearing off and you see the black underneath or something. I don't know, but like overall, I am very happy with the condition. There's a little bit right there. Just a slight kind of crease on that because I think it was laying down. Now, the way the other boxes looked, I think this might have been the top of a stack and then they had everything underneath. But this is really nice condition, and I can't open this. I cannot bring myself to do that. I need to preserve this, like I said. Otherwise, it's a really cool set, and I believe this is based off of Shadows of the Empire content from the late 90s. Is what I was reading a little bit on Brick Economy, where I get a lot of my information on the sets. I believe it was originally introduced in the Shadows of the Empire content. And I think it was called the Sentinel. Like, that's the type of shuttle this is. But as far as features go, you have an opening cockpit. Well, it's not so much an opening cockpit. You remove the cockpit canopy. That's how you get the pilot in. The wings go up and down in tandem because they have the gears there. You'd see those. So they go up and down at the same time. The whole top comes off. You see these red parts, they latch on front and back. That's actually a feature that a lot of the shuttles have. I love the shuttles. The shuttles are basically my favorite ship out of all the sets. Oh yeah, here's the bottom. The bottom does have a little kind of a gouge right there, but it's not bad at all. I forgot to show you that one, but yeah, you've got, let's see this closer. That got the top that comes off, and you've got everybody just, sitting down in there. You've got these missiles that fire. I do believe, I don't know what the mechanism is. So you push down there. So you must push down on one of these panels, and it triggers that and fires the missile. That's pretty cool, actually. And there's one on each side. Those old spring-loaded missile pieces. And then you have a lever here that releases little bombs. And its landing gear isn't very sophisticated. It's just those two pieces, which is fine. Some of the later sets have that too, but this seems like a pretty decent build. And yeah, I like it. I've always kind of wanted to have one of these, and finally got my hands on one. And I'll probably go back and pick up that X-Wing if it's still there. It's been like a week. But the other ones, not so much. They did say they had some other ones. They just have to find them. They're stored away somewhere because they did the big move. And I am very interested in seeing what they have sitting there. I told them I'm definitely going to come back. Which, I've been there a few times. I think I've bought a couple old games from them, but I'm very happy that they have Lego. Anyways, that's basically all I have for this. So, yeah, see you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Toodles.